On today's video, I'm going to show you how to end excuses from others and most importantly, from yourself. Hi, I'm Jason Everett, one of the trainers down here at Business Refuel, and everybody hates excuses, but oftentimes aren't they justifiable or even inevitable that you're going to get them? Because aren't there some really good reasons why you can't get things done in the time that you would have promised or other people can let you down? Aren't there some really good reasons for that? Well, I want to share with you a concept that's going to help you to get only results and get rid of the excuses. And it's called the excuse auction. Now, I learned about the excuse auction a long time ago in one of my first outside sales jobs. I worked for a no-nonsense kind of boss who used to just put his foot down, and if you were late or didn't get things done, you would be in trouble. Until one day, we had a new hire who came in, and they gave this excuse. Now, before you get mad at me about not accepting this excuse, I want to remind you that I am a new parent, okay? So I do sympathize with you. What they said is they came in, they said, my kids were sick this morning, they threw up all over me, I had to change my clothes 3 times. My boss just said, okay, don't worry about it. Now, this is the first time I had seen any sort of crack in this guy's exterior and actually shown that he had some way that he would actually let you off the hook. And so it got me thinking about, well, wait a second, does everybody have a price tag, if you will, for the level of excuse that they will accept? And the reason why I bring up that excuse specifically is because it wasn't the only time that that person used the excuse. In fact, they regularly use this kids as an excuse sort of scenario to get them off the hook almost consistently. And that's when I realized that there is a limit behind what people will accept as an excuse. So if I just said, well, there's bad traffic and nobody accepts that, but if I said, well, my kid threw up on me, I had to change my clothes 5 times, that was the level of excuse that this boss, as an example, would take. So how do you take that information and use it for yourself? Well, it's kind of an introspective look. You got to look at yourself. And so there's a 2-step process to help you get rid of all the excuses and only start getting results from your team. Step number 1 is you got to start by examining your own excuses. Because what I found after looking at this concept over and over again is that the excuses that you most often are willing to accept are the ones that you most often give. So if you say something, for example, like, well, my computer's broken and I couldn't get online in time, or my phone never works the way I want it to, whatever excuses you give the most often are the ones that when people say them to you, you see them as higher value because here's the key, you believe in them and you believe that's possible. So if you constantly say traffic was an issue, then you'll accept traffic as an issue from other people. Now here's step number 2, and it's way harder than step number 1. Step number 1 is you acknowledge your own excuses. But step number 2 is you completely eliminate your own excuses and you accept 100% responsibility. So I was working with a client one time who used to give a ton of excuses. And every time I talked to him, he was late for me, late for that. And so I said, man, you give a lot of excuses. And he said, you know what, Jason, I give a lot of excuses to everybody because I'm often late, I'm often running behind, I don't get things accomplished. And I said, okay, here's a challenge for you. For the rest of this week, I don't want you to give any excuses. I want you to completely eliminate them. So as soon as you say, I'm sorry I wasn't here because, eliminate everything after the because. Just say, I'm sorry I wasn't here, I'm here now, let's begin. No excuses. And what he said to me the next week is he said, Jason, you know what I realized? Is that every time I said because and then elaborated on my story, that story wasn't really for the person I was talking to. That story was for me, to justify why I had done that action and to let myself off the hook and make it okay for me to constantly not be performing at the level that I needed to. And he all of a sudden turned around his business and within the next couple of weeks started showing up on time, started making good with all of his people, and his team came to me and they said, I can't believe what a difference this has made. Whatever you did, thank you so much. And it's all thanks to the concept around the excuse auction. So use those 2 steps in your business and see what you can change as far as getting rid of excuses from yourself and from others. So if you have a high value excuse that you hear all the time and you don't know how to get out of it, I want you to post it in the comment section below. If it's not your kids throwing up on you or something else, put it in the comment section because I want to know what are some of the greatest excuses you have ever heard, and I'm sure it's going to be fun in the comment section. So if you like this video and videos like this, you can check out more information from us at facebook.com/businessrefuel, and you can also go online to youtube.com/businessrefuel and subscribe to our channel there. Until then, have a fantastic week, and I hope this changes your life. Take care.